Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Just on the Jimmy Dore show here, and Dr. John Campbell on the screen as well. But that's not kind of it's John Campbell gets a mention, but it's another guy who actually invented the PCR test which was used to um decide whether you had COVID or not. The name of the video is Bombshell. It's a month old, but I didn't notice it till now. The video is called Bombshell. Almost 90% of positive COVID tests were fraudulent. So, yeah, COVID was a scam, like a massive. Again, some people can't wrap their head around that COVID was a scam. And not only that, it's partly like it's a bit of pride and ego, I think, as well. You can't wrap your head around that you were done in. You know what I mean? You had the wool pulled over your eyes. You were conned. Like you fell for it. That's a big part of it. You fell for it, as many people did. Like I mean, most people fell for it. To be fair, but we kind of looked at this kind of thing for many years before this came about, and that's why we knew it was a load of bollocks. So we did try to tell you to look into stuff, but you wouldn't listen. We did try to tell you that COVID was bollocks, but you wouldn't listen. So yeah, it's all come out in the aftermath. But all these people who don't want to believe they've been had and it was a lie, yeah, rather just wouldn't look at the information and continue to believe that it was all. I mean, there's another one of these coming, by the way. Like, there's another one of these pandemics coming down the road here. So live and learn. You know what I mean? Live and learn here. It's all about vaccines, and again, the amount of people that's had problems after the vaccine is unreal, to be honest, absolutely unreal. Again, not massively broadcasting the problems that have been caused. Um, because again, they're going to do this again on you, to be honest. They're going to do this again, yeah, whether it'll be next year or the year after, but there's pandemics planned. Again, I think it'll be this year, to be honest. There's one coming down the road. So, yeah, live and learn, maybe. Who knows? So anyway, it's kind of proven it was all bollocks anyway, that the PCR tests don't work, that it was false positives, and from the man who made the test himself. So let's have a listen to this and see what the crack is.
In other words, COVID was massively overdiagnosed. 86% were false positives. That means 14% were accurate diagnoses of COVID. It was massively overdiagnosed by this PCR test.
Spoiler alert, you know how they give you PCR tests to see if you had COVID? Turns out almost 9 out of 10 of those tests that said you had COVID were fraudulent.
Oh man.
God. Of course.
Oh, wouldn't you know it?
So just let me just give you a little background before I drop it on you. This is Kerry Mullis. Now, I've showed this guy on the show before. He's the inventor of the PCR test. That's the test used to declare a COVID pandemic. That's the test that they were using to say if you had COVID, and that's the test that they used to declare the COVID pandemic, the PCR test. Well, there's a big problem with that, and I'm going to show you. And he was Dr. Fauci's most notable critic. He coincidentally died 4 months before the COVID pandemic. They clearly shut him up before they released the bioweapon because he would have exposed it. And so, just to let you know, this guy won.
He was 74 when he died, so touch and go, to be honest. He's quite old. But maybe, again, it was the biggest psyop in the world, so to date. So there's a good chance they could have knocked him off before if he was going to tell the truth and expose the massive psyop and knackered it all up. Because it went to plan, really. Like, it pretty much went to plan. It's what they wanted. They wanted 80% of people vaccinating. They pretty much got that in every country, if not more. So there was only like 2 countries, I think, that didn't get it in. So it pretty much went to plan, to be honest, from the point of the global elites. So yeah, but this is the man who actually invented the test. So if you're not going to listen to this man, then you're just an idiot, to be honest, and you're not going to listen to any fucker. And you've made your bed here. You've made your bed. So I'll have a listen to this.
He invented the PCR test, and he won a Nobel Prize for it. He died on August 7th, 2019, at the age of 74. So here, listen to what he had to say. So this guy's Nobel Prize winner, invented the test that the COVID pandemic was based on, died. Isn't it so convenient that for the establishment that he died 4 months before the start of the pandemic? But here he is talking about the PCR test and how it's not reliable and how it should not be used to diagnose. Watch.
What is it? What is it about humanity that wants to go to all the details and stuff and listen? You know, these guys like Fauci get up there and start talking. You know, he doesn't know anything really about anything, and I'd say that to his face. Nothing. The man thinks you can take a blood sample and stick it in an electron microscope, and if it's got a virus in there, you'll know it. He doesn't understand electron microscopy, and he doesn't understand medicine, and he should not be in a position like he's in.
There you go. Fauci. He doesn't understand anything. He shouldn't be in the position he's in. Again, half of that's because he plays ball, you know what I mean? That he's willing to lie to everybody on the world stage about everything. Like, that's partly why he's allowed to do what he's done, you know what I mean? But here you have from the horse's mouth, the guy who actually invented the test, telling Fauci knows nothing and can't be trusted here.
Most of those guys up there on the top are just total administrative people, and they don't know anything about what's going on the bottom. You know, those guys have got an agenda, which is not what we would like them to have, being that we pay for them.
Yes, they have an agenda, and it's not what we would like them to have.
To take care of our health in some way. They've got a personal kind of...
Yeah, they don't give a shit about our health. I mean, like, yeah, they do not give two fucks about our health.
Agenda. They make up their own rules as they go. They change them when they want to, and they smugly, like Tony Fauci, does not mind going on television in front of the people that pay his salary and lie directly into the camera. You can't expect the sheep to really respect the best and the brightest. They don't know the difference, really.
Yeah, when you're a layman, you don't know. When you're a layman, you don't know, I suppose. Yeah, the sheep, the zombies. So, yeah, you're getting it from the horse's mouth, do you know what I mean? Sit in denial all you want, but the truth's out there, and again, I think it's a lot of ego and pride with people. They won't have it that they've been lied to and had, and they fell for everything, you know what I mean? I think that's it with a lot of people. But, you know, I mean, who do you want to tell you? Do you know what I mean? Who exactly do you want to tell you the crack?
I mean, I like humans. Don't get me wrong, but basically, the vast majority of them do not possess the ability to judge who is and who isn't a really good scientist. I mean, that's a problem. That's a main problem actually with science, I'd say.
I can't judge who's a good politician. Do you know what I mean? Like, these people have been fucking dumbed down to the point that they don't know what fucking day it is half the time. But we're trying to wake you up, you know what I mean? We're trying to fucking give you an upgrade here. But the upgrade comes through information, and information alone. So, if you're not going to believe this guy who invented the fucking test, then you're, who are you going to believe? You know what I mean? Who are you going to believe?
In this century, because science is being judged by people, funding is being done by people who don't understand it. Okay, who do we trust? Fauci? Fauci doesn't know enough to, you know. If Fauci wants to get on television with somebody who knows a little bit about this stuff and debate him, he could easily do it because he's been asked. I mean, I've had a lot of people, president of the University of South Carolina, ask Fauci if he'd come down there and debate me on the stage in front of the student body, because I wanted somebody who was from the other side to come down there and balance because I felt like, well, these guys can listen to me, but I need to have somebody else down here that's going to tell me the other side. But Fauci didn't want to do it.
So there he is telling you how the actual game works. And now here's the result of that game. The result is you were lied to about COVID. You were lied to about the PCR test. You were lied to about the entire pandemic, not just the vaccines. Here, watch this. Here's Dr. John Campbell. There's a new study out of Germany, and watch what he found out.
You're most welcome to this talk. Now, today we're going to be looking at research from Germany that shows that between 86 and 90% of COVID tests using the PCR, polymerase chain reaction methods, were false positives. In other words, COVID was massively overdiagnosed. 86% were false positives. That means 14% were accurate diagnoses of COVID. It was massively overdiagnosed by this PCR test.
And if it wasn't massively overdiagnosed, if they didn't make this error, which a lot of people think was an intentional lie, which is what it more looks like, and these people are actual criminals, if they didn't have these bogus tests, they couldn't have declared a pandemic, because most people who they said had COVID actually didn't have COVID.
Yeah, and they're putting flu down as COVID. Again, you were totally lied to. Again, it's some people just can't wrap their head around how big this lie was, who's involved, and yeah, how deep it all goes. You know what I mean? Goes real deep. So I wouldn't leave it there. This is Jimmy Dore Show. If you want to watch the rest of the video, it's only 5 minutes. John Campbell as well, good channel. Doctor from Carlisle. Yeah, it's all out there as well. All the information's out there at this point. It's all come out. It was a lie. It was fucking, you've been lied to. You fell for it. God knows how many vaccines you got. As I mentioned before, like the more you had, the more stupid you are. You know what I mean? You still haven't figured it out. Well, now's the time. You've heard it from the horse's mouth, and doctors telling you there. People who are not on the payroll. Again, he mentions Fauci on the payroll here. Quite willing to go on the TV and lie because he's on the payroll. So that's what you got to watch out for. Agendas and payrolls. Again, we mentioned in the last video, Davos. Them all meeting at Davos there, the world leaders. Again, agendas. And if the people on the TV are in on the agenda, they will lie to you. No problem whatsoever. So again, if you don't believe it now, then you never will, to be honest. But there's another one of these coming, so more fool you if you don't wake up in time with the thing probably. So I'll leave it there anyway. Peace.